So because of the way I ended the last video, I forgot to record an intro for this video. So welcome to the new video, guys. And before this previous clip, I had said what we were doing in the end of the last video. So if I just confused you, I'm sorry, but I was going through the lawnmowers and some different things like that. I got both of the zero turns gone through. I put the Etz mark right here because it's got to be on the battery charger most of the time. And I pulled the excursion in so it's ready for when Dad gets here. And so now we can move on to the next thing, which I think is going to be getting the 4020 unhooked and feed ground. So you just watched me clean out my Jeep. Still couldn't find the power bank or the cord. That's what I was cleaned it out for, because I thought it might have fallen down in something and got buried by stuff, but it didn't. I ground 2 loads of feed, and I just fabricated these 2 pieces of metal for one of the cattle waters that got busted a couple days ago. So the paint is drying on them, and while the paint is drying, I am going to grab that pallet right there and come over here and start loading up all these PTO shaft, drive shafts, and hydraulic cylinders. Get them all loaded on a pallet and get them out of here. And that is the PTO shafts, all on a pallet. Here we are in the chicken area, early morning. I just let them out. They're all huddled over there by the feed trough, eating. This guy's over here, and I want to show you guys this new thing I have for watering. I had said before that I needed to upgrade that vacuum seal. Well, I did. I went to a unlimited gallon automatic watering system, and it's this one. It's by Dare, and it's an all metal except for the float, because the float can't be metal, but it's a all metal stock tank valve. So you can see, lift it up, kicks on, and it'll refill until it needs to. So it's just got a little thing in there, and as soon as it comes up, it's got a little silicone thing that plugs it, and the hose just runs through. It's going through one of the squares in the poultry net right there, and it's running down to that hydrant down there. And I have a hose system that I gotta kind of set up. There's 2 hoses running over there. I want to take in between there and put a splitter and run a hose up just for the garden area, and then also once we get the second shed, one for the meat chickens. But that's gonna be future stuff, so nothing now. But hey guys, it is Saturday now, and Saturday morning, and I am driving through the hayfield that I raked up last night to see if it is ready to bale. It should be. I just got out and checked one spot. This field was mostly weeds. The alfalfa was still below the cutter bar. We just wanted to cut it so that the weeds didn't choke out the alfalfa. This is that new seeding that we planted this spring, and so yeah, we want the alfalfa to get a good and established, and so we cut the weeds. And it's mainly velvet leaf and burdock, but there is some grassy spots, and so I'm driving around checking those grassy spots to make sure it's not too green. Our baler won't even feed it in if it's too green. So yeah, I am just driving around checking. Hey, there's 1 headland, and there's 2 rows here that you can barely see. I just couldn't rake it any farther because the stuff was falling apart so much, it was just getting left behind. So I raked 2 rows here. There's 2 rows on the other side of the field, and the headland goes all the way around except for the front, because there's nothing in the front. Okay, so there are 2 rows or 3 that are really wet on the bottom, the grassy rows. So I'm gonna go out with the rake and just flip them over and get that really wet spot in the sun, and let it sit for a couple minutes, and then I'll go out and start baling the dry stuff and leave the wet stuff for last. We got the hay raking done. Dad is mowing the lawn. I moved the 2 trucks out of the way, the big trucks, the automatic and the stick. I moved them out of the way. He mowed there, moved him back, moved the gooseneck trailer, he mowed there, moved that back. And I've been running around with some dirt and some asphalt millings with the skid loader, and I filled in a couple holes. This hole and this hole. Oh look, there's the 4020. I left it on the rake because I'm not sure if we're gonna need it yet before we put it on the hay bind. just don't want to unhook it until the hay is baled and in, because you never know what's gonna happen. I got some cleaning done. I got this whole area right here cleaned up. This cabinet's really heavy with all the stuff in it. I gotta go through and empty some stuff so that I can push it back into place. And I think my plan is to move the drill press and put it right here against this post as well. This loft is only temporary at this point in time. Obviously they planned on it being permanent when they built it, but this is temporary at this point in time until we build a parts room, and then we will be transferring parts out and then taking this down. And we're planning on putting in a second overhead door right behind me here, and we have a bend pack car lift that we want to put in right here. So all of this stuff is temporary. I'm trying to talk Dad into pouring enough cement to do a fabrication room as well, a metal fab room. And let me show you the plan here. So our parts room, you're gonna walk right out this back door here, and it's gonna go from that post all the way to that post, or like halfway in between. And what I want to add into the plans is I'll walk a hallway right here going to a room over here, going from that post to that post over there, over and like that. And I want to put an overhead door on that wall right there that the mower's sticking out of, and make this into kind of like a fab room in here. Move the grinder in here, the chop saw, have the torches will probably stay in there. We might get like a permanent set of torches in here maybe, and keep the portable ones in the shop, and have the welder and everything in here that's metal fab related, and kind of keep the other, like the fabrication supplies, like all this metal, just like put it up against a wall in here somewhere, because all of that stuff is temporary as well. That's all going somewhere and sometime. Most of it's parts room stuff, most of it's some of it's stuff that can go out into the other barn. But yeah, I want to make this into a fab room, and also I want to talk to Dad about putting in maybe like a small roll-up door in this wall, just in case we have like parts coming straight into the parts room or stuff coming out. Put that in right there. And we are planning on doing this, moving the air compressor in here just to get a little bit of noise out of the shop, because that air compressor makes a lot of noise in here when you're working with the door closed, and it's kind of annoying to talk over and different things like that. So just wanted to show you guys what I did there. I am going to go out and bale that field real quick now. That's bale number one. Filled up a lot faster than I thought I would have, so there may be more out there than what we think. Probably not. Thought I had a problem. The light wasn't coming on the box. Turns out I got to turn it on for the light to come on. Who knew? Forgot I shut the bots off on my way up, so it wouldn't be sitting there beeping at me the whole time I was on my way up. So yeah, when you dump the bale, turn the bots back on so that you know if the light's on. But anyway, I am taking, on my way up, I took a shortcut, and I'm taking it again on through some of the old paddocks out here, then around the grain bin, and then lane just moving straight out right to the field. So yeah, a lot better than taking the road with the pickup down. And I got the little, I don't know what you call those little rubber wheels. I got them halfway down just for the grassy spots of the field, because there's some really wide windrows. Bale number 2 has been dropped. There's the third bale. 9 bales total. 5 more than me and Dad expected. So that brings our total for the season up to 150 round bales. And we are gonna have a lot more on top of that. So stay tuned, guys, if you want to find out what our season ending number is for round bales. You'll have to see the last haymaking video of the year, so, which hasn't been made yet because we haven't even started second cutting. We'll start second cutting when we get home from camping next week. We're going to be getting home on Friday and probably starting hay the following Monday. So I'm heading out back. I'm gonna unhook the hay rake since I know we don't need it now. And one other thing, I thought of this when I was pulling over here. You guys probably want to know why I'm not putting this in the barn. We're done with the baler, why aren't we putting it in the barn? Well, one thing we do here, it's totally different anywhere else, it's completely personal opinion, but we do not, under any circumstances, park a baler in the barn the same day we use it. We let it sit at least 24 hours to make sure there's no hot bearings or anything on that that's going to ignite and catch the baler on fire. And because we have lost 2 barns in the past 5 years, not from fire, just from collapsing, and we cannot afford to lose any more. So we do not let any machine that has the potential to light a machine on fire, not like slight potential, because every single machine would sit outside if it was slight potential, but things like a baler, hay bine, combine usually goes in, but we recommend parking it outside most of the time. If it's gonna rain, we'll put it inside. The what's the other thing? There's one more. Maybe there's not one more. But things like that where they get heavy coated in dust and have a lot of moving parts and bearings and stuff like that, we do not want in the barn right after we use it, because we do not want a barn fire. There's multiple things in the barn other than just a baler, and so you burn that down. The barn we put it in, you could burn down. We'd lose 3 tractors and the barn and the baler if we put it in there and it caught on fire and we didn't realize it. So it's just safer and better to leave it outside and let it cool down for a day or 2 before we put it away in the barn. Alright guys, that is the end of the video. So if you liked it, leave a thumbs up and I'll see you next time.